I've caught you. I've
You
caught
caught
you,
me.
Joel. You've talked
You
yourself
have.
into a trap on
Oh
Teoscar
no.
Hernandez.
So you've got me. Let's say you've got me there.
I got you there. Look at
You
us.
got
Look
me
at
there.
us. We're arguing and we're coming to middle grounds. Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there. New camera technology coming to F1, the world of motorsports. How can this help baseball? So I'll throw the clip up now. Okay, there was the clip for anybody that watched it. If you're listening on the audio side, it was just a clip of showing what this is going to look like. But F1 race cars are implementing helmet cams for the viewing experience, I suppose. So for viewers at home, they'll be able to see what the driver's seeing. Literally, it's right next to the eye. You're seeing the head bobbling. You're seeing the steering wheel. You're feeling the G forces as they're going through their corners. Every driver for this season is going to have this helmet cam. I think it's great. I think it's great that they're going in that direction. I think it's great that sports is going in that direction. And I want to see it in baseball. Last year, I think it was on a long toss, we were talking about the Brooklyn Nets, and they had a VR setup where it was like a multi-camera situation. You know, we're talking hundreds of cameras in the arena on the basketball court, and then through like computer math, I don't know how computers work, but
Computer
somehow
math.
they were able to do all the matrix stuff where you could figure out as a viewer, you could just stand anywhere on the court and it would like show you a
Vantage point.
a vantage point from there. So you could go stand at the
Wow.
3-point line, you could be in the corner, you could be right under the hoop, wherever you wanted to set yourself up, and the computers would figure out the math and project it into your VR experience. Very cool. So I thought that would be fun for baseball to just, I mean, as it would look so stupid to see Bo Bichette with a GoPro on the lid of his ball cap at shortstop. But man, would it ever be cool to somehow be able to stand at shortstop in VR and have a ground ball hit at me and then just see like how fast that's coming at you, what the reaction time really is, right? Because
Yeah.
when you're watching it from the broadcast, it's really easy to, I mean, anybody who's been to a live game, right? You're down the foul line, whatever. Baseball is so much different in person than it is on the
Between the lines.
broadcast. And we've gotten used to it and we're comfortable with it, but there is a serious drop off in speed of the game when you're watching at home. And I would love to see whether it's some sort of multi-camera and a computer's doing math, or it is a F1 tiny little webcam and it's, you know, it's under the brim of the visor or like whatever the case may be. But I
The
love the
mission.
idea of,
The Now I see you, Mr. Phelps. The Mission Impossible
yeah, there you
glasses.
go.
You
Get
know.
us some Google, Facebook glasses, whatever. But I love the idea of being able to, especially like from a viewer at home. And again, I've been on this for years now. I want every player mic'd up and I want to be able to
Yes.
listen to that. We talked, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. We talked Buck Martinez a lot over the last 7 days and his ability or lack thereof, depending on your opinions of him, to call a game. Would I ever love to be able to just turn off the play by play and just listen to the game without any sound other than what's actually happening? I want to hear Bo heckling Aaron Judge when he's standing on second base. I want to hear the trash talk. I want to hear the crack of the bat. And for me, a lot of baseball is like I'm second screening it, right? I'm
Yeah, I
working in
got you.
my office, I'm doing something, baseball's on in the background. So I'm most of the time not even listening to the play by play, it's on mute or whatever. But you give me some like birds chirping, some bats cracking,
Some
I'm all over it. So give me
ambient
that
baseball sound.
ambient baseball sounds and get everybody mic'd up like this again. grows the game. Let's get these personalities out there, right?
Oh yeah.
But further to that, and specifically with the cameras and this new camera technology, oh, would it ever be cool to see, like I said, Matt Chapman's perspective at the hot corner and just see literally what he's seeing as a ball's coming, and he's got fractions of a second
Yeah.
to make a reaction on that.
Well, you
Let,
you you like you want to apply it to the catcher's helmet, right? And maybe one day they'll be able to apply
for
it to
sure, the
the
catchers.
yeah,
That
maybe
seems
they'll
like
be
the
able to
easiest first starting point.
yeah, let's go there.
Let's
Let's
start
go
with
there.
that. I'm with you.
Because
Yeah,
if you so that first of all, that's a brilliant idea. That's what you came up with. You texted me about this idea of applying it to the catchers, and I brought up Yasmani Grandal to you because
right.
Grandal had made a company that creates catchers helmets that have the spring loaded side,
Shock absorption,
yeah,
right?
to kind of cut down on concussions for catchers, which really brilliant idea, right? To like
Yeah.
absorb that blow
Anything
that
that's
comes
fouled
from
off and
yeah,
whatever, right?
exactly, right.
Totally.
So when you brought that up, I was like, I wonder if a company like that would be able to make a prototype, right? Because sitting down, they've done catcher's perspective before. It's always been something cumbersome though that no catcher has wanted to adopt and put onto himself and
Of course.
apply. But if you can make a catcher's helmet with a built-in camera that is so you don't even notice it, you have to be told that the camera's in there. You're like, what do you think about this helmet? Oh, I love it. It's great. It's great. Oh, and there's also a camera in there. I think if you were to give catchers that perspective and the ability, the thing that baseball advocates, when we sit down and we're told that baseball's boring, why do you watch baseball, right? The difficulty of the game isn't on display from the center field camera looking at the hitter and the pitcher. Like we don't see from that view the ball out of the hand, how long it's in the air, the snap of the glove, the track of the slider across the plate. Like to literally have a camera that shows the difficulty of the sport, which we don't have, right? Which we need to focus on because we don't hitting is so incredibly hard. And to just have that vantage point to see every unique pitch to me becomes that it becomes a way to show you Darvish and his 10 different pitches or this, the specifics of a Ryan Helsley, like 103-mile-an-hour fastball or, just all of the intricacies that you get from that specific angle. I love it.
Here's a slightly different angle. If catchers are like, no, I just got to focus on baseball. I don't want anything that's going to mess with that. Put it on the chin of the umpire in
Sure.
that case. Basically the same angle. I know we're not supposed to talk about Trevor Bauer. Voldemort shall not be named. On his YouTube channel during his suspension, had a great video that did not get enough love, and probably because of who he is. But the premise of this video is how hard is it to actually call strikes as a major league umpire,
Yeah.
right? And then the video is literally they just have a GoPro attached to the face mask of the bat catcher, right? And then they've got their buddies basically standing back there calling balls and strikes as they're throwing 98 with spin, and the catcher's trying to frame it, and like just like the actual ability of like a guy who can frame a pitch well and like the impact on the viewer. Like I just
Yeah.
found
The
that so
illusion, right?
it was so informative for me. Like the respect that I have for an umpire went up. Like it's so easy to like crap on them and be like, well, they're professionals and they should
And
be
the peanut
99%
gallery
accurate.
doing
But
their
like,
umpiring was all over the place, right? They were
yeah.
completely inaccurate. They were pulled all over the place by this. Yeah.
But yeah, but once you actually see it for yourself, and I'll throw this video in the show notes. So anybody that's interested in checking it out, click on it. 10-minute video, and just yourself play along at home and try and guess balls and strikes as they're coming in from that perspective. It's so much harder than it looks. And again, I think that goes to the idea of like this viewing perspective and the appreciation from home to be like, yeah, give me the behind the plate view. And I want to see essentially what the batter's looking at, right? Like as this curveball's coming in and you're trying to guess, because that's one thing that we can't really appreciate right now at home is off speed pitches, breaking balls, velocity pitches, pitch location, even, right? We're not able
Oh,
to really accurately guess or get the we
if you
can't
were
put
to do
ourselves in
the
the mind of the hitter when we're just
the
watching it from behind the pitcher and going, how, did that look like a strike? But when you're seeing it come at you and you're trying to decide and you go, holy, that was freaking fast. I think that would
yeah,
be really an enjoyable experience.
well, Pitch Ninja on like when you see the overlay from the
Hmm.
center field angle, it feels like we get so much when we see that little blur on the ball to see how it tracks and two different pitches coming out. But imagine you doing it from the catcher's perspective,
Yeah.
right? And the overlay then has the pitch velocity, and you see the difference of the glove snap on the
Hmm.
changeup to the fastball, the break of the slider, how slider looks fastball for 52 feet, and then at the end it's got you start to understand the concept of late movement. You
Yeah.
understand fastballs that have run or ride, that those higher spin rate fastballs and what those look like. It would just be a completely different perspective, and like you said, the ability for the fan to sit and go, holy crap, this game is, how do they ever touch that ball? How do they
Yeah.
ever make contact?
I mean, it would be an entirely new perspective, but also it would be so familiar to anyone
Mm,
who plays video games. Because anybody who plays
that's so
MLB
true.
The Show, shout out to Jazz Chisholm, cover athlete for MLB The Show this year. But like that is the angle everybody bats with, right? So like
Yeah.
there would be a
Strike
whole
zones, strike zone one.
so maybe old people would be like, that's not for me. Give me the classic view. And that's fine. But anybody who's played a baseball video game even once would be familiar with that view and would be like, "Oh, this is great." I
Oh
can't
yeah.
imagine someone who again, looking forward to like the future and the young generations coming up, right? The people who are joining adulthood now and who have spent the last 15 years playing video games because that's all kids do these days, right? To have the broadcast experience of a Blue Jays game match closer to what they spend 8 hours in their basement seeing when they play a video
Mm,
game, I think that would be a huge step in the right direction as far as like engagement and getting younger people interested in baseball. So
I agree. It seems just like a natural progression at this point.
it makes too much sense. Might be still a couple years off, but I'd sure like to see it. I'd like to see baseball take some bold risks other than a bold risk just being, yeah, we're going to try Apple. Apple's going to give us percentages on every pitch. Uh, let's be a little more aggressive with our outside the box thinking.